Right, Cure again, people. Welcome back. After my this is not connected. After my recent blowout, you may have seen. Um, I have. Why did you not do that? I mean, I can hear it. Can you hear it? Craziness. Anyway, after my recent blowout, as you may have seen, I spent a little bit of time, about 3 hours or so, going back and having a look at everything to try and make some money. And as you can see up there in the top left hand corner, I'm making some money, which is good. I've made a bit of money despite some development. So what did I do and how did I do that? Well, not anything super amazing, to be honest. I balanced things. And I found out a couple of things that were problematic, and I'll talk to you in a minute about those. But let's have a look. This is the New World. This is Viejo Garino, which is one of my largest islands. So,
I owe you, boss.
Thank you. Market. I just need to put one in the right place. I've been going through balancing needs and happiness because I wanted to make more money and I wanted to make sure that I wasn't losing money, and I also want to expand. I want to make Viejo Garino, which is a big island, into possibly the leading island in the New World, and get it up to speed. And I need to make everybody happy to get that happen. So I've been going through. Thank you. Things like this where we have excess. And where we have an excess, trying to sort that out. And we're actually supplying those bricks as trade elsewhere. And we'll talk about that. That's all brick-related stuff. We have some, I think, plantain-related stuff and some
Stand aside, boss.
plank-related stuff. But I mean, that's fine. I've spent the last sort of 2 hours over in the old world, so these things have kind of stacked up on me, which is fine. Nothing wrong with having a good supply of materials. So you see, I've got. This fish oil's weird. It seems like you can never seem to get it up a lot, but I mean, I've got fried plantains coming out my ears. I'm not worried about it, but fish oil is weird. I never get it above like 20. I don't know what the story is. Anyway. I've got a backlog of things. I got a backlog of bricks and stuff. I could probably start selling those, but I need to have a look at developments because I'm developing my other islands, and some of those islands can't make bricks and so on. So yeah, so that's it. And I went through, and where we got excessive things, I've put them up for sale, and said, well, I don't need all that. Beer is a bit problematic. I have to buy that in, but I'm okay with that for now. I mean, I'm trading some of it from the old world, but the journey from the old world to the new takes so long you can't really catch up with it, and that's it. So that's what I did. So this is Viejo Garino. So it's looking good. We've got the agricultural bit over here. We've got big expansive houses, and we're going to keep building that over here. And we've got some agricultural, and it's simply a case of trying to balance their needs, which is getting better. Need to sort out bombings. I've got sewing machines on order, coming over from the old world, but things to look into, things to sort out. There's always things to do. I mean, that's the thing, you can't stop. So I'm happy to bring you back now that I have stabilized the situation. That is Viejo Garino. So we will then have a look at Tanga de la Haya. This is another large-ish island, split into these kind of two lobes, and you've got this narrow neck in the middle. It's made it a bit restrictive because this is one of the only ones that makes corn. So I've kind of built this, which is essentially this little town here, and then I'll probably have to. I mean, I've started coming out here, but honestly, I've got to kind of start another town over here, really. So this is an interesting one. It's an interesting shape. We'll see how we go. I might have to move things, demolish things, try and look at it. But I'm playing it by ear to see how we go. These guys are all largely happy, and these guys and girls are actually all largely happy. The only issue with them is they're not ready to move up yet because of population dynamics and various other bits and pieces. So just build, grow, build, grow, build, grow. So the Tangata High is doing well. And this is Cruz Amita. Cruz Amita's also doing well. This is the interesting one that we said. I think look, we're down on workers again. Seem to have gone through. I'll need to let's expand some of this, shall we? Look at that, and we'll flip it over. We'll put it on that side. Down one. Right. Let's get that road around there. We'll see how that goes. Should be enough. Speed it up. See what happens. It should start moving in. Yeah, you say it's mediocre, but we'll see. I've got plenty here. Oh, ponchos doesn't look good. They need a market. Well, you can always chuck a market in to keep people happy. That's not a drama. Ponchos, let's have a look. Because ponchos is, do we have enough? Not really, so we need to sort that out. And that's a declining problem. So rather than me having to do something about that now, I'm going to degrade some of these. Degrade, downgrade, down, promote. What do you call it? What do they call it? Downgrade. Yeah. So just because I don't want people to start complaining that they don't have enough people, I've got an excess. Takes my money down a bit, as you can see. You know, such is life. Maybe it'll come back up again. Maybe it'll go into the thousands. Who knows? But yeah, I mean, the issue with this is all these little islands. So because when you expand, if you're too far away from a market or too far away from a fire station, it causes a raft of issues. What is this for? That's corn, and that is presumably sugar cane. Yeah, I'm expanding this one, but there's not a lot of room left. I mean, I might get this one finished in this session, and I'll do a big session, and I might finish out Cruz Amita, which would be interesting. I haven't finished an island out yet, and see what that looks like. Anyway, one of the other things here is trades. Now, I mean, I guess the thing is with trades, this is all the trades, so I can't separate them out. But just by you can see how many trades I've got. That's a lot, and that is well, I think it's a lot. Maybe it's not a lot to a lot of other people, but this is just needs. I'm not trading with anybody. This is just trading with me. I don't need to trade with anyone else, or at least not this way. I just set up when I've got an excess of goods, I put it up for sale. And say like sell above 125 or something, and if I don't have enough, I put buy below 50 or whatever, and in it comes and out it goes, and I don't need to worry about stuff like that and everything else. So I've set up these trades to move things around either within the region. So Viejo Garino and Cruz Amita are trading beef for tacos or whatever they are, not tacos, tortillas. Because Viejo Garino has an excess of beef, and Cruz Amita makes tortillas in part from beef and then gives it back to Viejo Garino and so on. Bricks, that's in the old world. That's in the old world. Again, corn to Viejo because they don't have any. They can also supplement by making their own tortillas. We've got cotton, fabric, and rum going from Cruz Amita to Wost because that keeps them happy and we're getting beer back. We have cotton and rum going to Rail-Lambton, and maybe eventually we'll get beer back, but Rail-Lambton's not big enough yet. Same with Dedenbury, so we're trying to spread the load amongst the three of the larger islands in the old world. I'm trading. I want sewing machines in Cruz Amita to advance some of my people, and I probably need to do the same for Viejo Garino and also for Tungatahaya. And there we go. We're getting sewing machines from Denbury to Viejo Garino, and that's all. That's all just internal trade stuff. I mean, that's not. I haven't even started trading with anybody, and that's just to try and keep these demands up and keep everybody happy. And you see there, I'm back up to 1,568, and I got 307,000 bucks. If we, I haven't bought any New Orleans, but if we go out to the world map, so you can see there's my trade ships. So my trade ships are moving, but by gum, it takes time. 5 minutes. You know, oof, 6 minutes 45. So that's the time it takes to get from old to new. But I don't have a choice. I need it. You can't make rum in the old world. You have to buy it in, so you have to make it over here and you have to bring it in. Yeah, it's interesting. Back in the old world, how are we doing in the old world? Well, we started out in Railhampton. Let's start out in Railhampton. Hey, that can be built. School to keep everybody happy, predominantly these people. Because you're not getting beer. I could probably be the same. I would be unhappy if I couldn't get my beer. Ironically, we've got a pub. Maybe they just do mead. I have no idea. But anyway, beer is something that Railhampton will need to get sorted out. Eventually, there is something else here that can be constructed. That's a trade union. I don't think I actually have anything here yet. No. So yeah, Railhampton. I've only just started expanding it. I've started moving into steel production. We need steel to start advancing. So I've only just set up a steel production area. We've got bags and bags and bags of space. I think there's more iron over here, but I need to get over there to make use of it. Yeah, we've got bags and bags and bags of space. So Railhampton's going to be a big developer. You don't have access to a pub up here, do you? Is that your problem? This your only problem? Can't get to pub. Yeah, and these guys, like I said, beer. So yeah, on the uppity up. Yeah, we just got to build. Once I get in here, I can start really building some big stuff. I just wanted to make the most use of this space first. Get us up and running. Get some of our basic needs met. I need to get iron going. We've got a long way to go, I think, on this one. Oh no, it's the other one I'm thinking about. For what happened to bricks? That was the issue I had with this one. No clay. So I'm having to bring bricks in for this one, which is a bit of a problem. If we check the island resources, no clay, see? So I'm having to bring in bricks, which is a slow process. I mean, I'm getting there, but I've got 20 bricks, so it's not. It's slow. And I mean, I do have a trade set up to bring it bricks locally, but it's holding me back a little bit in Railhampton, and it is an issue. But anyway, there you go. Wost! How's Wost doing? Wost is doing pretty good. I mean, as you can see, a lot of people here want upgraded. We don't have too many things that are problematic. I've expanded a lot of farming stuff out here. I haven't put a port here, but I probably can and should, and put a warehouse. We've got some, again, full output for things like windows and stuff, which is great, because when I start building some of the more expensive things like museums and stuff, I'll need a lot of windows. And we've got our steel and all that working. I don't think we've got any more iron out here. So we got our oil, which is I'm gonna have to redo this when we get oil on the go. So yeah, big, and I've had to move a few things out and cut a few people out and paste them over here, as you can see, which is fine. I mean, just acres and acres of workers, and I've only got 84 spare. So, blimey. Yeah, I still need to expand to start making room to get more people, but I also need to convert some of these workers over here to engineers. They're all largely happy. And on that, so here's the two things. This is a need, and this is happiness. You absolutely have to get the needs sorted if you want people to go up a level, but not all the happiness. As you can see, they're happy to be promoted here, even though he's not super happy about the fact that he's not getting quite enough of the luxury schnapps that he wants. That really affects this bottom line number. So if you're looking to push expansion and
Unionism is our future. Us filings swept into an iron fight.
I know you don't hear him talking.
Equality for all.
I know you don't hear him talking much, but he's right in my ear when I'm doing this. Yeah, so fulfill the needs, they'll move up. Happiness makes you more money. So anyway, that's the way it goes. So yeah, so that's Woest. Woest is doing well. There's a few things I need to sort out and ultimately finally balance down here with furs, which is improving and hopefully eventually get there. But that's it, I think. I'm just waiting on this coming up as we get supply in from the new world. And once they get enough of that, they can go up just a time factor. Really, really just a time factor. Korozova is my agricultural place, as you know, and so it remains. I'm still not of a mind to put any workers here. I'm just going to expand out and fill this island. And again, I think I can do that. I'm not going to miss not using this clay deposit, and maybe eventually I will. Don't know though. But yeah, I mean, I've started expanding out, and I still need to expand out, and I'm quite happy doing that from a purely agricultural perspective. I'll just have a look at who needs what, but essentially it'll just be, lots of wheat, lots of hops, lots of peppers, lots of potatoes for the. Oh no, I can't do potatoes for schnapps here. And the houses to support that. So build farms until they run out of houses. Build more houses. Build more farms until they run out of houses. Build houses. Build farms. Build houses, and so on. And that's all I'm going to do to grow this place. And that's all this place is ever really going to be to me. It's never going to be any more than that, which is fine, and I'm okay with that. Sere is really small, and I think, I mean, I've started.
You've got our interests at heart.
I've started with these guys here and gone into this, and I wonder if it may not have been a mistake. But what I think is I'm probably not going to do any more of them, really. I think what I need to do is probably just expand this out with the remaining workers. And again, go with the agriculture. Spuds, hops. I haven't seen anything for grapes, but I don't know if I'll get it because I don't know where it comes in. I've never seen it. It might come in further up the chain somewhere. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how, why, where, when, or whatever I would get grapes into this matter. But maybe I will one day. I don't know. And presumably there's wine, viticulture somewhere along the line. But we'll see. So anyway, Sancerre, just build it out, and again, probably get finished in a session. There's an orc at him. Denbury, the jewel in the crown. Da 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 da. Who is this?
To be resourceful.
You do indeed, my dear. So, yeah, so we've finally got some of these people ready to move up into engineers, as you see. And I don't want to do any of that too rapidly because obviously they come with more needs. So now that I see them, I can see what their needs are. Spectacles, predominantly. So, yeah, spectacles is going to be fun. Coffee, new world. Electricity and light bulbs, blimey, this is going to be a whole new thing for us. And then they need watches and penny farthings and a bank, which is just fabulous. And maybe we will and maybe we won't get onto those things, but you know, that is we're still got plenty of room to expand for Denbury. Still got plenty of room to expand. So you know, expansion, grow, expansion, grow, expansion, grow. Bags of room. We're just going to keep going. You know, we've got another beach over there. We haven't even accessed that. We've got this little village over here doing whatever it's doing, which is all well and good. And we got some surplus, and we got some bits and pieces, and we got some tickety boo. So that's it, and that's Denbury. So that's all of them. Now then, this situation is one of the situations that has caused me money, as you can well see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 ships waiting and 1 trading. So while all this is happening, it can cause merry havoc with your trades. The answer to this obviously would be to go and have a look at the docks and see if we can't get another trade dock. I think it's the pier. So we could, in theory, wonk another pier down there. And this is another pier already out here. I just need to get it built. You know, and I need to get that built. Look at these boats. There's so many boats coming to Korozova, and Korozova seems to be taking ages to get the boats turned around. Who's that from? That's one of ours. That's one of ours. Are these all ours? They've all just unfortunately turned up at the same time, which is just a nuisance. Yeah, so I need to get that sorted, but that can play havoc. I had one situation where I had a boat and I had inadvertently let's have a look. I'll show you. If you pick one of your trades and you go and have a look here, you'll see that at the bottom there it says press down on the L button for island options, and if you press down you can select the behavior of the boats. Now the problem was that what I was doing was I'd set a couple of boats to wait, which means they just wait indefinitely. If there's no room, they just sit there. Now the problem is if they're sitting there, none of your trades can happen because all of the boats are just waiting for that one who can't offload because the storehouse is full, and if you're not looking at it, it causes an issue. So there's a default setting which is they just unload as much as they can and then get lost again. And if they can't unload it, they can't unload it. And then eventually what happens is you end up with a full ship going backwards and forwards doing nothing, and that's something that you get a warning about, you have to manage. And the same with loading. If you're saying I want to load 50 bricks and they've only got 20 spare and you're sitting there waiting, and for whatever reason they're not making any more, or they're only making one every 5 minutes, you're going to be waiting there a while. None of the other ships can get in and out, so then all of your people's needs start plummeting and you end up with very unhappy citizens. So my advice is don't do that. But this is mental. What are these? How did you jump in there, Fitzgoblin Darcy? I've got all these boats. I don't know what he's doing, having a malarkey. You know, these guys are in desperate need here at Korozova. So yeah, watch out for your trades, watch out for your trade things and bits and pieces and all the rest of it. What were we looking at? Yeah, I mean, you can see over here, I've got nothing with any of the other parties because I'm too busy. I just don't have time. Hey, where are you going? Jump in the queue. Who do you think you are then? Yeah, I don't have time. I don't have time. Anyway, diplomacy-wise, where are we? Nothing really has changed. Willy Wibblestock's as mad as a hatter. No chance of trading with him. He keeps... This is the thing. I'm way stronger than him. Pardon me. Look at my military and look at my economy. And he keeps coming to me requesting a non-aggression pact that I have to pay. Get lost. You should be paying me, mate, before I come over there and squash your little head. Honestly. Non-aggression pact. He wants $20,000. Get lost. Who do you think you are? I'm a giraffe. Princess Ching's fine. She's a pussycat. She's not doing anything. These two are just parrots. And we got Beryl. Beryl and I. Well, now Beryl and I. we have trade rights, which is great. Because yeah, I don't want to be on her rough side, as it were. She already nearly squashed poor old Willie. He was down to one tiny little island. He was down to this tiny little island here. Beryl took over, and fair play to him. I mean, Beryl took over his operations on his main island, and he was left with this. And somehow he managed to trade his way up to this, and he's expanded over here and built this whole thing. And yeah, I don't know how he did it, but I mean, fair play to him for doing so. We're running out of space on this map. We've got a couple of islands still left to go. I suppose we'll wait and see what we got. This little thing over here, which is useful for nothing really. Holiday homes. I guess we'll wait and see what happens with that regard in terms of Willy Wibblestock, but that's why we want to stay ahead of Beryl. Over here, yeah, Beryl's bought a big island. She's got Foxgill, a big island over here. Willie's nowhere because he can't get out here at all. Princess Ching's, like I said, she's not really big on settling. Right. Well then, so that's the situation. So what I think I'll do is I'll pop out. I'll have a look at a few bits and pieces and odds and sods and this and that, etc., etc. Put a coin in the old top hat, and get a ship out to that island of Jacaranda, and see what we can do about that. And I'll maybe bring you in for a few time lapses of things. And or bring you in if anything magical or tragical happens. I'll see you all soon. Hello, hello, Cura, Cura, Cura. Raul, right. Welcome back. We've had a few interesting changes. One of the things that has changed is this. Hey, look, toot toot. We now are making and producing oil. We're harvesting oil. So we have our oil refinery here. We have our little oil harbor here, and we are underway. And what else we need with oil for our little elastic trickery is we have the little toot toot. We possibly need an oil store if we start that. We have the harbor. We need an oil power plant at some point, which makes sense to probably have here. To be 100%, so we'll stick it there. And what we can do with the harbor is we can use this train track and we can double it over there. I don't think we need it round here, so I think we can just work off coming in. So if you don't know with these buildings, when you place one of these buildings, which you will have undoubtedly seen, you get these little white arrows. You can see it just there. That's where the train comes in and goes out. So the train has to come in at this point. It has to come in, at opposite sides of the building. And obviously it goes out here and it collects these. The derrick is collecting oil. The refinery is collecting oil from the derricks, which I had out here. And I've got this little oil harbor. I didn't need to do half as much as I thought. But anyway, yes. So we have oil. We are making oil. Eventually we will have enough steel and reinforced concrete to make the oil power plant. And then we will have joined the oil age. One of the things which is hot on my list to do next, obviously, is this thing. But I need 500 engineers, so I need to pull finger here. And either Woes or Dedenbury is probably my best bet. And we've also bought shares. We've bought shares in Woolly Wibblestocks. We can't buy. Oh, well, we could 84,000. We would need a lot more money to take over his island. Not that we want to take over his island, but that's the thinking that could happen. No one has bought shares in my islands here as yet. Beryl would look to be the one that's the problematic one. Willie, yeah, we'll buy that.
Lots of people buy into my island now.
So when we buy into shares, we get obviously we get some revenue from that. It doesn't actually seem to show me the revenue anymore that I am getting from his island, which is a bit of a nuisance. But for example, let's go to this one. If we were to buy shares, you can see that the share value is 1,024. That's what I would get in terms of regular income. As you can see, her island is very wealthy, and I would need 258,000 to buy one share. So yeah, there you go. That's kia ora, and hello again. Right, okay. Blimey. A few more hours have elapsed since last we were here, and my money has dropped considerably, only because I've been spending it, not because I've been losing it. So I'm currently ticking along at about 5,000 and change, and I've been anywhere between sort of 1,000 and change and 8,000, and that's just because. So where are we? Well, let's talk about the big news. We've got the oil power plant running, and it's apparently making electricity. I don't really fully know what that means, honestly. What it means is I can.
Oh, sweet fancy.
Thank you. I can upgrade some people. because they have needs for electricity, which is great. I'm still battling furs, but I'll talk to you about that in a minute. So hurrah! I kind of like these buildings. I like the way they when I upgraded them, they kind of all lumped together. You know, when they started forming blocks and things, I like that. Because these all are kind of like standalones, right? But when you upgrade to engineers from artisans, they're, you know, like these terraced townhouse things. They're very nice. I do like them. It's a very nice look. So yes, so we've got our little oil trains putting along, and they're picking me up oil from our oil refinery with its massive, great big open oil tanks and everything else. And it's going to our oil port, which is now a large oil harbor. I've upgraded it a couple of times so we could increase storage. And I've added on an extra oil store. And I've now got the oil power plant, which is burning through it. These buildings that are on pause are for spectacles, and I haven't quite managed to completely fulfill the supply chain for spectacles yet. So I'm buying them in. I do have some stuff in. I probably need a brass refinery because you need to make brass. That's what this is, brass. You need to make that from zinc and from copper, and I don't have a brass refinery. So there you go. A supply chain I'm yet to fully realize, but I've got my oil underway, and we're on our way, and we're upgrading and everything else. And I haven't really, honestly, done much with Wost. I had just a minute ago. I had this weird population crash. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I was losing population left, right, and center, and I couldn't fix it. And I was like, oh my gosh, what's the story? And it was fish. It was fish. Fish is a basic need. So these guys here, right down at this level, need fish. So because I'd absent-mindedly run out of fish, everybody started tanking, and I was like, oh my gosh, what's happening? And my population was disappearing left, right, and center. I'd had a pandemic, and I built a hospital somewhere over here or something, and I thought, blimey, maybe that's it, but no, it turned out to be fish. So if your population starts tanking for some reason and you don't know why, check out your basic needs, because if it's a basic food like fish, or over in the New World it is plantains, then it's probably a problem. So woes. So I haven't really done a whole heck of a lot with woes, to be fair. I've just made sure that we've got the oil system working, and had a look at what we possibly might need, and everybody's happy. Korozova is, as I say, complete, and I have really done nothing with it. It is just ticking along, and an awful lot of my stores are currently full, and I have set all of these to sell out at 200, and basically I'm maxing up these stores, and I'm using this to support other islands with trade as and when I need it, which is entirely what it was for, and I'm happy with that. Sere, I appear to have a lack of artisans there, so I'll probably have to pause that. Thank you. That seems to come and go, which is fine. This is a limestone quarry, so I'm trying to get limestone out of here to make reinforced concrete, but I periodically have to pause it. And this is the steelworks. I need to balance that out. This guy is my copper mine, and he really needs to be connected to a road, because he isn't going to get anywhere without it. So Sere, yes, I completed Sere. Sere is fully kitted out. Sure you are. I can set up a trade for you later. Not everything is quite 100% balanced on Sere, as you can see. These guys are the same. Missing wood. Probably need to get it in. I monkeyed around building too close to a lot of my wood, which is fine. I've just finished developing it, so it's probably going to take a little bit of while for the wood to build back up again, but I wouldn't worry about it. Get off. Again, I've set it up here to trade out at 200, and you can see that we've got an awful lot of things here that are at or approaching 200, which is fine, but it needs a bit of a tweak. That's okay. It's been running for about an hour like this, and now I get to see what's working and what's not working, and I can definitely work to resolve that. So that's Sere. Deddenbury, yeah, I've been expanding a little bit on Deddenbury, ironing a few things out. We had a pandemic. I had to build a hospital. I haven't really done anything. There's still the same amount of stuff to build. I haven't really got on and done Deddenbury yet because it's one of my larger islands, and I don't want to. I've been focusing on my smaller islands. Railhampton, we finally made it over the river, which is fine. I said we would. And we need to build this because this is our concrete factory. Because we are. Maybe we do, maybe we don't. Let's see if we can upgrade any of these turkeys. Don't have enough. Let us, while we have built it, put it on pause. So we'll put it on pause till I resolve that issue. Let me just upgrade some of these turkeys so we're not like totally at the mercy of the whims of people. Let's say nearly 100 ought to be good. There you go. That'll probably earn it out. So yeah, so we expanded over here, and we're starting to grow out. We're trying to balance out some of the other various trades and bits and pieces that we have. But yeah, I mean, like I said, it's a pretty big space that I have to fill. And I've only just started on it, but I have started on it. You know, and you can only do so much at a time, and then you run out of wood and planks and various bits and pieces like that. You go back and rebalance and go back and rebalance. Rah, 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 rah. So Railhampton's going fine. Thank you very much. And that's it. Back to Woest again. Let's have a look at the map for now. Everywhere is taken, and mostly by Beryl, it has to be said, which is fine. Let's leave Beryl to it. In terms of the island shares map, I've got shares with Willie in Hordebury, and I've got a share over here in Great Dunno. This one's not worth anything. I don't get anything. So just, why would I bother? I've had a look at Beryl's side of things, but Beryl's pretty expensive. 1,228,000. That's nice, but I haven't had 1 million yet, and that's you know, same with this one. Max possible revenue. Ooh, look at that, 82,000. So that's the old world, and it's going well. And my plan for the old world now is I've got 2 islands built up, and I've got the 3 large islands of Woest, Deddenbury, and Railhampton to big up on. Right, again, I haven't really done anything with Viejo Garino. As you can see, I've got 29 workers and 1,100 Obrero.
I knew we could make it.
Thank you. But again, big. Thank you. Big island, and this is one of my big bases with you know, the huge expansive beach, and a small beach to make use of. So yeah, I need to get onto that. A lot of outputs that are full, which means I need to balance up some things and sell some things, or move some things on, or build some things. You can see here, I haven't really done anything with Viejo Garino. It is just functioning. I have set up a lot of the trades and things to be selling out as much as I can. Hey, who's got a steel boat? Who's that?
She may look sweet, but she'll hit below the belt if she has to.
Yeah, so Beryl has moved on to ironclad boats, steam-powered boats and things, which I was trying to get to before her. but I haven't made it. I'll need to. I'd hope to get onto that. Maybe next episode we'll get onto that one. Tanga de la Haya. Yeah, well, look, I have done a bit of work on this, and we've expanded out towards the cinched waste of the island here. And we've put in some tourist facilities and some extra docks and things for trading and stuff. And then we've got the rest of this major, that's just bricks, the rest of this major area to get out to. So, yeah, I've just been making it sort of happen, and you can see that they have advanced needs in sewing machines that I need to get that trade sorted out for. But Cruz Amita is done. Yeah, I filled it all out. I think there's things here. I don't know whether I can upgrade that. Can I upgrade that? It sounds like we have a fire going on somewhere. Yeah. So we filled this one up. Balancing up the various basic needs we have, using the farm field system to do all the uncomfortable edges and things and try and make the most of the bits that we have. And we have plenty of workers and plenty of jornalero and obrera, and plenty of needs. And again, this one's just going to be a supply island for the new world. And all I have to do is apparently stop it from burning down. Come on, guys. Never mind you lot having what appears to be a hugathon in there. Get out there and sort the fire out. So, let us go to Viejo Garino. And we will close at Viejo Garino. Yeah, blimey. And, you know... Another what feels like a marathon, and you know, I appreciate there's tubers online that are like, you know, complete the you know, development tree in an hour and stuff like that. And I'm like, how the heck could you possibly complete it in an hour? I mean, all told, I've probably been on this particular build series, season, whatever you want to call it, for, I don't know, 18 hours or something. I've been at it for a heck of a long time. It certainly feels, you know, and balancing and staying on top of things, and it's been challenging, and there's certainly lots of things to keep track of. I think I'm sort of getting the hang of how it all kind of slings together, but you know, like the collapse of the population in Woes was a bit of a surprise to me. But I did manage to figure that out, and now we're trucking along at 9,000 to tick, and you know, we have 230,000 in the bank, and I've spent a truckload, and you know, I could have easily had $1 million in the bank if I hadn't bothered to keep developing, but I'm chasing the dragon's tail in terms of developing, and that means you spend money. I mean, as I've said before, what do you want a surplus of money for in this game? You don't want a surplus of money because it doesn't make you anything. If you've got a surplus of money, buy shares. At least it'll return you something, or build something, or expand, or do something. Yes, it's nice to have, you know, some money in the bank in case something goes wrong. You get an epidemic on an island and you realize you didn't put a hospital in place, and by the time you get one in, you know, you've got issues. But by the by, you don't really need to keep all that money for any particular purpose, because it doesn't really help you. So yeah, so that's where we are, and that's where we're going to leave it for now. We're going to leave it here, and like I said, when we come back, what I will do is we'll have some major development, hopefully. I can't say we'll have finished off any of the big islands, but maybe we'll have moved on with some of the other big islands, transitioned into. I don't actually know what the next phase of these guys is. What is after these guys?
I always believed
Obrera, I don't know. I've not had anything past Obrera in New World. I never really developed it as part of the campaign. So, yeah, so that'll be interesting to see what we get and where we go. And I'd also like to get into the Ironclads. I'd like to get into the Ironclad ships, and I'd like to get that underway and be a little bit more tidy in that regard. Tidy up my trades. But again, it's all dynamic. You tidy it up, and then you go away and do something, and 15, 20 minutes later, it's all broken again. Which is fine. It's part of the game. It's like I said, it's all dynamic. It's not very static. Populations go up and down, incomes go up and down, happiness goes up and down. It's just a case of making sure that you're working within the bounds of up and down, making sense, and not turning it into a downward spiral into going bankrupt. So that's it. Thank you very much for your time. Please drop a like. Yeah, we're I feel like we're solidly in the mid game. I think we're definitely over the beginning game. I think we're still some distance away from the end game, but I think we're solidly in the mid game. And once we get one or two like really big islands sorted, whether it's Viejo Garino in the New World or whether it's Wosed or Denbury or something in the Old World, I think once we get one or two real big islands sorted, we'll be definitely kicking into the end game. And then we need to look at what that looks like for us in terms of either a military conquest or a financial conquest or what we want to do from that perspective. So I'm thinking ahead of building up our powerhouse economies into what do we want to do. And we might take a double-pronged approach. We could always smack Willie around, but make a move on Beryl in the economic space, perhaps. Don't know. Take out one of the pirates? Don't know. There's certainly things to think about, and I'm certainly thinking about it. If you've got any ideas, flick me a line. And of course, don't forget to subscribe. It helps immensely. I'm trying to get to 100 subscribers. I'm nearly there. I'm so nearly there. I've zoomed along quite a bit, and I'm trying to get to 100. It seems like it was just a little while ago that I was at 50, and now I'm moving on. I'm past 75. 25 more, and I get to the magic 100. Woohoo! I don't know what I'll do for 100. Probably not a lot. Maybe do a live broadcast or something. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But we'll look forward to it. I hope you're enjoying it. Ta-ta for now.